Hello and welcome to this edition of Exclusive Interview, coming to you from the studios of 84 TV Radio Abuja, Nigeria. My name is Stanley Bentu, and today we're talking about Nigeria's National Youth Service Corps. Now, the year was 1973 when the government of General Yakubu Gowon decided that it needed an innovation in order to reintegrate and reunite Nigerians, and it decided to turn its searchlights on the young people of this country. Now, the plan was very simple. Gather all of the Nigerians who had earned degrees and higher national diplomas and post them to different parts of the countries than they were used to. And hopefully, at the end of the year, they would have learned a thing or two that would make them better national citizens. Well, 47 years on, exactly how successful has this scheme been? What are some of the challenges that it has faced along the way? How have they been tackled? But more importantly, how safe have we been keeping our core members? Well, that's what we seek to find the answers to, but before we do that, have a look at this report.
The National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, is a scheme set up by the Nigerian government to involve Nigerian graduates in nation building and the development of the country. There is no military conscription in Nigeria, but graduates of universities and later polytechnics have been required to take part in the National Youth Service Corps program for 1 year. This is known as National Service Year. The scheme was created 3 years after the end of Nigeria's civil war on the 22nd May 1973 to help reconstruct, reconcile and rebuild the country. Fresh goals were set aimed at establishing Nigeria as a unified, strong and self-reliant nation and to promote sound patriotic leadership. The purpose of the scheme is primarily to plant in Nigerian youths the spirit of selfless service to the community and to emphasize the spirit of oneness and brotherhood of all Nigerians, irrespective of cultural or social background. On the show today, we speak with current Director General of the NYSC, Brigadier General SHUAIBU Ibrahim, who sheds light on the trials and triumphs of the NYSC.
Welcome back. I'm happy to introduce to you right here in the studio on Exclusive Interview the Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General SHUAIBU Ibrahim. General, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Okay. Well, first of all, I would like to commend you for the recent increment in the allowances of the Youth Corps members from 18,000 to 33,000. I saw a video on YouTube showing how much jubilation was happening at the camps. Yeah. But I would like to ask what informed this decision and how were you able to implement it so quickly, especially since a lot of states are still battling with the idea of the minimum wage?
You know, the allowance of corps member is tied down to the minimum wage. And whenever there's an increment in a minimum wage, the corps member do benefit with a fraction of 10% on the minimum wage. The minimum is 30,000 and the fraction on it is 3,000, and that's why it amounted to 33,000. For the quick implementation, you know, the federal government, especially Mr. President, is interested in the welfare of corps members, and that is informed by he paid, and you could see the jubilation. The corps member were calling him all sorts of positive names with jubilation, thanking him for his fatherly role, and pray that the Lord should give him long life and prosperity, so that they will continue to enjoy the system. They are so happy and they are ready to dedicate themselves more for the service of the fatherland. Mm. They appreciate the federal government immensely.
And is this minimum wage something that you're confident that the Corps would be able to sustain?
Yes, the NYSC has contributed immensely to the socio-economic development of our country, and in whatever areas of human endeavors, both in the area of social, education, medical, and our electoral process. The corps members were NYSC were into partnership with INEC, which you are aware, and we contribute immensely to the electoral process in this country. And the corps members are very important. In our CD affairs, if you see what our corps members are doing, recently there's one Stephen Teru who has skill for carpentry. He was posted to Akampa local government area in Cross River State. He put his skill to use where he produced chairs and tables for both primary and secondary school pupils, and as well as the Chief's Palace. And it went viral. The society appreciate what that gentleman is doing, and it cuts across all the spheres of development. The core members are everywhere. It is only you see the NYC, there's no nook and cranny of this country that you don't find core members. They're everywhere. If you go to Escravos, you see core members there. I'm happy also to inform, of course, I'm aware you were once a core member. And you remember your life, your experience as a core member, how you contributed. So also is also happening. And our present day core members, the digital core members, they have a lot of potentials. And the various core employers are putting this, their skills into use, and they are contributing immensely to the development of our country.
Absolutely. One of the best years of my life was the year I served my country in the NYSC scheme, and it was a learning curve.
It's quite rewarding. Even myself, I was also a core member. I served in 1989 in Askira and Borno State, and whenever I cast my mind back to my life as a core member, it's quite rewarding. And this information I also do pass to my children, to when they also time for them to serve, they will also put the same thing and be committed to the service of our country. NYSC is quite it's a laudable program that is quite thought out by the General Government Administration. You remember my core members, anytime there is a celebration in Daura, my core members in the local government always pay a visit to Mr. President in his hometown in Daura. And the President is always full of praises for the scheme. In the last LC, it was the NYSC, the military and the police that remain the main veritable organization that has continued to unite the country together.
I would like to ask, especially you mentioned the beginnings of the NYSC scheme and how it was set up by the Gowon administration on the heels of the Nigerian Civil War in 1970. But what has been happening over time is we've seen a reluctance of some people to actually cross over to another part of the country to serve. And some of these ethnic sentiments and bigotries have been or have eaten their way back into our system, and this has caused a lot of people to try to ensure that their wards and their children do not get posted to across the Niger or to some strange places to serve. How do you cope with that kind of pressure?
And that is why we do career advocacy, to inform parents that these children, they are educated, they have a lot of potentials. Give them the opportunity to excel in life. We don't have to always continue to twist the hand of the clock on our children. They should give it the opportunity. They are intelligent, but I can assure you, just a fraction. It's just a fraction. The core members, any nick and cranny of this country, see they're there. If you go to even the Northeast, you see a core member from different parts of the country. I have gone to visit the IDP camp in Maiduguri. I was shocked what I saw. You see coming from the southwest, you see coming from the southeast, coming from the south. They are there. But of course we have challenges, which is also inherent in any organization. Challenges stopping you to continue to review and make things better. And this is what the NYSC is also doing.
What are some of those challenges that you've been facing?
Some of the challenges, of course, some people trying to inflate that, no, we cannot go here and so on. And I told them, I said, look, so they keep asking about security. I said, security is everybody's business. Of course, we also have partnership with our security agencies. Where there are challenges, we don't post our core members. In terms of security, we don't post our core members there. And the security, they are up the game. They have the necessary intelligence report, and they alert us immediately that let's take the core member this way until when it improves, they alert us, and then we'll take them back. But if not for that, we don't have much challenges. That's why I keep telling you every forum, the challenges we have with the scheme is a result of our core members who now embark on unauthorized journeys. In the process, road traffic accident occur, and we have problem. So that is why every opportunity in camp, in every forum, even this morning, some core members, I met them at the secretariat, at the Yakubu Gowon House, at the headquarters. I have got to talk to them. Don't embark on any journey without permission.
But some of them would like to be redeployed, and there's been a lot of requests for redeployments.
Those who seek for redeployment, except the reasons are genuine, would not do that. For compassionate ground, those with health challenges and those with marital ground, especially female core members that are married. Once they are married, maybe deployment will have some errors. Either we correct it immediately to ensure that they are posted to where their husbands are, and that's what we do. But no, we will not accept any unnecessary interference for posting to their place of choice. We do resist it, and that's what just as I said earlier, we appeal to parents. We carry advocates to parents. Please don't interfere. Allow your ward to serve in any part of the country. Some saving talks that say, what of Northeast, there are problems. I said, but if you go to the Northeast today, there are foreigners who are helping Nigerians there. I don't expect those foreigners to love Nigeria more than Nigerians. It is Northeast today, you never can tell where is next. And that is why, as fellow Nigerians, you'll be able to volunteer and go and help our fellow Nigerians, because today is the Northeast, tomorrow it may be the turn of the people we have helped today to be of assistance to you tomorrow.
Well, we will have to take a break very soon, but before we do that, if General, you can walk me through very quickly what any Corps member who is looking forward to do some community development and some of these projects that can intervene and help make Nigerians' lives, the lives of Nigerians better, what can such a person look forward to as a support from the Corps and also from the country itself?
For community development service, Corps members are supposed to either embark on individual or group development service. In that case, once Corps members are posted to the various communities, they are supposed to integrate with that community, interact with them, and then find out what they need. And that's what the Corps members do. Projects or things that the community want is what they embark on, so that they leave a blueprint in the life of the community when they leave. And then they normally carry advocacy within the community, because the community are involved in the process of the development of what they are going to do there. They generate revenue within the community, and with these spirited Nigerians who make contribution.
So is there anything that can serve as a motivation for Corps members to get involved in these projects?
I know we have what we call the National Honors Award. Those who excel in the community development service, the best are selected, and then they are given National Honors Award, where they have the opportunity to have a handshake with Mr. President. They have a letter of commendation signed by Mr. President. They are given automatic employment, and at the same time, they get scholarship for postgraduate studies. This opportunity is there, and the government has kept faith with the NYC, and up to this moment, as I'm talking to you, the program is still on. We are already preparing for the next Honors Award.
Thank you very much, General. Well, we'll take a short break, but when we come back, we'll be talking about some of those security concerns that have led to a lot of Corps members requesting to be redeployed from their primary places of assignment. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Well, I felt so excited. Actually, I've been waiting for the alert, and when it eventually came, I felt so excited. I want to go into sales, like computer accessories, buy and resell.
In fact, words cannot express how happy I am, because it's something I've been looking forward to. And then I got it yesterday. When I received the alert, I was so happy, I was so excited. And I wish the the corporates would make use of it and invest and do something with the allowance. I have been having one or two business plans, so I intend to invest one in poultry farming, and then the second one is fashion.
Well, when I received the alert yesterday, I was very happy, I was excited. Finally, the federal government has increased the corpus allowance to 33,000 naira, so I was happy.
AD4 TV Radio, we focus on education with emphasis on research and innovation, science and technology, women and girl-child education, children, health, youth and sports, socio-political and economic reforms, security, environment, entrepreneurship, and entertainment. We'll give you information at your fingertips. Learn on the go. Follow AD4 TV Radio on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. AD4 TV Radio, reliable and credible.
We love you, AD4 TV Radio.
It's been said that prevention is always better and cheaper than a cure. Well, I want to contribute my quota towards the development and sustainability of the health sector in this country in my small environment by through my CDS group sustainable development goal, provide health education and health awareness for people in my local government in preventing diseases and providing at least small checkup that I can afford, and people in my CDS group. As a youth corps member, my concern towards Nigeria presently now is insecurity in Nigeria. Now, it's no more a news that insecurity has been a major challenge now in Nigeria. You see, not only in the north, even in the south, there is news of killing all over the place. So I want to, as the government has increased the corpers allowance, that the government should try as much as possible to provide security for the people in Nigeria.
My biggest concerns would be, apart from security, which is the obvious one, is about education too, especially outside of the major cities and states in the country, because a lot of children are left behind in terms of education, and we can't really move forward as a country if people are illiterate.
I want Nigeria to be a better country. I want us to move forward, because if you can see, the developing countries have moved forward and Nigeria is still left behind. So I want the core members to do something that would that the government will be proud of, to say, okay, we've done something and we've invested on, or we've changed someone's life.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Exclusive Interview. Today, we've been talking to the Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General SHUAIBU Ibrahim. And we've been talking about the NYSC scheme and some of the challenges that the Corps has been facing recently. And one of the things that General Ibrahim had mentioned earlier is the question of security. In media reports recently, we've received news that some Corps members on national assignment have sadly lost their lives. What exactly is being done? And that's the next question I would like to ask you, General. What is being done to keep our Corps members safe, especially those who are on assignment with INEC and other places where they may be put in harm's way?
For INEC, there's insurance cover for our Corps members on assignment on the INEC ad hoc duties. And at the same time, just as I said earlier, the security, they are up the game when it comes to Corps members, because from the federal government takes the welfare of the Corps member very, very seriously. And I do tell the Corps members in camp and in whatever fora that their security should be very, very paramount to both to us and themselves, because you don't have to put yourself in harm's way. You must be very conscious of your security. And that is why in camp we give them security tips. There are pamphlets that they are taught. We invite security experts, both even from the DSS, the police. They do come around, educate them, tell them the do's and the don'ts on how to be careful. And wherever they are posted to, we do tell them, you make yourself available to the security apparatus. If there's a police station, there's DSS, civil defense, the barracks, the military barracks, and so on, they're supposed to avail themselves that they are within that environment. We have call lodges for them. Securities are provided for them at the call lodges, so that nothing untoward happens to them. But all we know is that we tell the Corps members, they must not put themselves in harm's way. You come here, you find yourself 2 a.m. Early morning. What are you doing? Around 2 a.m. outside. So you must be security conscious. They are very conscious of it and very, very careful.
But the more disturbing ones are the ones who probably would have lost their lives, perhaps as a result of election violence, or maybe those who are posted to areas that are not too far from conflict areas. So are there special arrangements for such people?
When it comes to election, we don't joke with the security of our Corps members. And where we lost our Corps members sometimes in 2011.
In 2011,
so
yes.
Since then we have not experienced such bad incidents again. And we do tell them, during the election, they are life first. In whatever circumstances, they are life first. Because whatever happens, normally they come with the right report. The right report which is submitted to INEC, and decisions is taken. And that is why they know what to do. And we don't normally put them in harm's way, because we have a very good, we normally hold stakeholders meeting with INEC, the Inspector General of Police and other security agents, including the military. We do have stakeholders meeting. They come to brief the Corps members as well on the do's and don'ts, on what is expected of them. Pamphlets are given to them on their role, what they should do. But in terms of security, we said whatever circumstances, their life first, and they understand the message.
Now, I believe that you view these Corps members as your children in so many ways, which means if in the unlikely event, an unfortunate event, that a Corps member's life is lost, how is it breaking the news to that Corps member's family? Because here is a mother or a father who has spent so many years training their children. They've now earned their degrees, which is not easy, by the way. My children are in high school, and I know how much I've already spent. So I can't even begin to imagine a situation where they even finish and get their degrees, and they're getting ready to become people of their own, and to receive that news that in the course of their national service, something unfortunate has happened to them. How is it for you breaking that news to these parents?
It's quite a painful one to break that, and mostly is this road traffic accident. Sometimes this accident don't happen, we don't know, because they don't take permission when they travel, some of them. For those that take permission, we monitor their activity, we inform their parents, your ward took permission, is coming for so day, place is on its way, so they will prepare to receive. But the situation when you travel without us knowing, it becomes a problem. It's quite a painful thing when you lose our members. From Mr. President down, they are worried. You remember the last shared protest in Abuja, where we lost a precious Wolabi, and Suleiman, Ali Suleiman was also shot.
The Channel's reporter who also lost his life. He was
one of the
leadership
leadership newspaper, yes. They were core members. Mr. President, from Mr. President down, everybody took it very, very seriously. The Vice President was in the residence of Precious Wolabi in Zaria, along with the governor of Kaduna State. That would tell you the seriousness with the federal government attached to the welfare of core members. So anything on top that happens to core members, the federal government is really on top and takes serious action.
Were you able to personally speak to any of these families?
Of course. I was there 4 times. I have been to the family 4 times. We have such cases. I do go there to see and commiserate with the family. At a short notice, they see me there. At short notice, you see me with the family.
All right, let's move on to another issue, and this one has been making the headlines across various news reports, and that is the agitation in some quarters for an alteration of the NYSC uniform. There are some people who say, oh, well, because of our religious beliefs, we would like to be allowed to wear skirts. Some people say, okay, well, this group is allowed to wear the hijab, and we are not allowed to wear skirts, and they are allowed on base of religion, so why can't we? What is the position, the official position of the CORE on all of these controversies?
Well, we don't have any controversy. For now, NYSC will have a dress code. We have a dress code, and we have not changed. You see, the problem we have is that some of these members, they deface our uniforms. The moment we give them the uniform, they take it to tailor, and then reduce it and make it skimpy, which shows their shape, which is, we have frowned against it on several occasions. And I said, look, once we give you a uniform, the uniform is bogus, and you wear, nobody will see your physique. But the situation, you take it to a tailor, to now reduce it, turn it to what they call pencil, or either pencil or what they call it, very skimpy and so on. It shows your shape, and this will frown against it. So we have a dress code for now. There has not been any change. And you see, it's trending. That in certain years, core members were wearing skirt, female core members were wearing skirt. No, it's not true. A journalist called me and
but they've been publishing photographs.
In the area of social media, that's not that you don't see on social media. Just 2 days ago, I saw in the newspaper, in the social media, that a GS2 student impregnated a core member. It's not true. Even with the release of the payment of the minimum wage to our core members over the weekend, a purported interviewed with me that arrears is going to be paid 118,000 to core members or so. It's not true. Nobody interviewed me. So we have to issue a disclaimer to that. So in this area of social media, anything can happen. So it's not true. Core members, if you watch that, if you look at that picture clip, it's only female core members that are doing parade. When you train as a core member, were you train men train alone?
No.
Both of us will do the drill together.
Train together. You do the drills
train together. Do everything together. At a point,
so you're saying that the NYSC uniform is designed for functionality.
It's just some functionality
based on the requirements.
NYSC is designed like a paramilitary organization. A paramilitary organization.
I personally, I guess maybe lots of core members may disagree with me, but I think that a little more time should be spent on the military aspect. Personally, this is my opinion. And I think it does infuse a lot of discipline.
Yeah, of course.
When I was in camp, I didn't want to participate in the marching at first, and so I was in the OBS, and I was doing broadcasting during that period. But then I found the marching fascinating, and so I joined the parade and I marched in the parade, and honestly the level of discipline that was instilled in me because of going through those rigors, I think I apply it even today in my life.
You don't wear it every day. It's during training.
Absolutely.
Or when you go for CD, that's what when you put it on. Wherever in your place of primary assignment, you don't wear uniform.
General, I'd like to ask you about your vision for the NYSC. What do you want to achieve? What are the things that by the time your tenure is over, you would like to see that you have done?
I want to see a scheme that is technologically driven. I also want to see a scheme that will not be dependent 100% on government for all its revenue and so on. We want to see where we are thinking out of the box, so looking to areas where we can also generate revenue for the scheme and take off some burden off the government. In the area of, for instance, our IT platform, we have our ventures, we have garment factory, we have rice farms and so on and so forth. I'm trying to rejig them so that we can bring something on the table, capture it in the budget for Nigerians to see. The NYSC is a platform that also can generate something and bring it transparent for Nigerians to see. You know, we have skill acquisition center. We have built a modern and magnificent skill acquisition center in Gombe. The one in Kazore in Jigawa is about to be completed. Same likewise, the one in Ekiti State. So we'll soon start with, along with Access Bank, our partner, to start the one in Kefi, so that our core members can be trained further in skill acquisition, because jobs are not readily available anywhere, white collar job. So that with our stakeholders, the CBN, the Bank of Industry, NYSC Foundation, among others, so that they will continue to make loan available for our core members, so that they will be, apart from being self-reliant, they will be creator of wealth and employ other Nigerians in it. And that is my vision. And that's what I strive to ensure that I get it done before I leave.
Well, I would just like to wish you good luck on achieving your vision, and also to sincerely thank you for taking the time to come here.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure. Thank you very much.
Well, that was a very interesting conversation we had with the Director General of the NYSC, Brigadier General SHUAIBU Ibrahim. Well, he talked about quite a number of things, but there are two things that stuck out to me. The first is getting government focused on skill acquisition for our young graduates. Yes, we acknowledge that we have a big problem with graduates having the required skills to get the employment that they need once they finish school. But the NYSC can prove to be a last effort that we can get these graduates ready and prepared for the big roles and responsibilities that may be expected of them once they finish school. But beyond that, we have to focus on how we can get our young graduates self-reliant and less dependent on government for employment. And NYSC would be a great way that we can achieve that. It could also be a cheap and quick way that we can make our graduates more relevant to the needs of our industry, and perhaps even make them exporters that can bring wealth into the country. Well, from me and my crew, it's been quite an interesting evening. Until we come your way again next time, have a good day.